Function subprograms in Python, user-defined functions. So in this lecture, you will learn how to write user-defined function subprograms in Python. Again, let us go back to the syntax of a function. So it's made up of the function name, as we have seen in the earlier uh, session. Here is the parameter or argument which is passed when we use it. And this is the return value. It returns value. So this function returns values, returns the length, for example, 9 of this string. So this, while using it, we pass arguments, or this is the parameter we are going to pass to this function called len. Let us see now. So we create new functions using def keyword, followed by optional parameters and in parentheses, followed by, of course, name of the function and parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis we are going to give parameters. For example, here sum ab, and always please note this, like in while and if, always there is going to be a colon at the end, so indicates that that is a function uh, uh, subprogram. So def is the keyword we are going to use, and this is the name of the function, and these are the two parameters we're going to pass. And so then we indent the body of the function. In C, we put braces there. So since we don't have braces, we just indent the code as it is here. So the next should be indented inside, next block of code. So I say A plus B, assign it to C and return C. So every function which returns some value, it ends with the keyword return and the value it wants to return. So here, this is declaration, what it is doing, and it is here, this part is how it is doing. This is what it is. This is a function to find the sum of two numbers. Therefore it returns the sum of two numbers. Here we explain how we give the code for this function to find the sum of these two numbers. So once we have defined a function, we invoke or call a function, and as many times, same function could be used with different values of arguments. For example, a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. I say z is equal to sum a comma b, and print z. It gives the sum of these two numbers. We have declared the code here in the previous session, previous slide, and therefore it finds the sum of these two numbers and puts it in this variable z. So this is the store and reuse pattern. I could give some other numbers. Immediately it finds the sum of those two numbers. Same function used for finding the sum of any two numbers. So argument is a value we pass into the function as its input when we call the function. When we declare a function, we give parameters. When we use the function, we give arguments to the function. For example, z equal to a comma b. These are the arguments we are going to give. So use argument so we can direct the function to do different kinds of work when we call it at different times. So we put arguments inside the parentheses. All parentheses are important here. Inside the parentheses, we put these arguments. For example, here, I have declared a function sum a comma b, and is a plus b is equal to sum, return sum, return sum. So this is what it's going to do. So a parameter is a variable. Para is a variable which we use in the function definition. It is a handle that allows the code in the function to access arguments for a particular function invocation. So either I call this, for example, z is equal to sum 10 plus 20. So immediately print z, it gives the sum of these two numbers. So these are the parameters we are passing. These are the arguments we are passing in the program. This is while declaring. We say a and b are the parameters. In C, we had to declare each of these parameters, their type, etc. That we don't have to do in Python. So it becomes very simple. So as you see, these are parameters. Here, while using, they become arguments. Return value. Often a function will take its arguments and do some computation and return a value which to the main program. So return keyword is used in this. For example, here greet. So I'm saying print hello. It just prints. So for example, uh, here print greet Harsh. So this function greet is called. Immediately it says hello Harsh. This prints the greet prints hello, and then it Harsh is here. So it prints hello Harsh. So again, same thing, greet, I can call this function greet Sudhi with some other argument here. Then it says hello Sudhi. So this is the function which is declared here. In this case, this has no return value really. It is just printing this statement. Whereas in this case, sum 3040 print z is equal to, I use it therefore in an assignment statement. I am not using this in an assignment statement. A function which return value has to be used in a return in a assignment statement. Z is equal to sum of these two numbers. So then print Z, it prints 70. It prints 70. So it's as the return value. Write a function. Let us have some exercise. Write a function program in Python to convert temperature in Celsius to Fahrenheit. So for example, I have written this function. Def start with the keyword. C to F is my function name and C is the parameter I am passing. This is the formula to convert Celsius into Fahrenheit. 9 by 5 C plus 32. And then I say return F is the keyword to return the conversion of Celsius to Fahrenheit. So then I'm using this function in this while loop here. I assign C to 0 and I say as long as C is less than equal to 100, what do? I convert the value of C to F and print here C 0 and corresponding Fahrenheit value. And again, I increment the value of C to 10. So in other words, it is going to print the converted value of Celsius temperature to Fahrenheit for every 10 degrees of variation, as you see here. So it gives here, so 0 to 32, 10, 50, 20, etc. When it is 100, 200, 212. So this is in Fahrenheit and this is in centigrade. This is a user-defined function which is used in your program. Similarly, one more, write a function subprogram in Python to find the average of n numbers in a list. So here I have declared a function. I'm passing this list here. Now, I say numbers equal to 0. I have sum is equal to 0. I want to first find out the sum of these numbers. So I use for loop for num in nums. So every time I get the number, I put it in this, I find the sum, and then after finding the sum, I come out of this function. Here this come out of this loop, then average is equal to sum divided by how many numbers. So length of numbers I want to get, and then return average. Here it calculates average. Here I say return average. For example, numbers, I've got a list of numbers. I say average is equal to function average numbers, and immediately, as you see, print numbers, it is going to print numbers, and I say print average. So it is going to print the average of these numbers present in the list 10.5. So that is calculated here. Average is equal to sum, which I have calculated here, divided by the number of numbers present in the list numbers. So return average. Good. Thank you. Thank you very much.